Most leadership advice for women isn't teaching you how to be powerful. It's teaching you how to be acceptable inside the existing model. And those are not the same thing. I'm Dr. Denée Choice. I work with high-achieving women in high-stakes, male-dominated leadership hierarchies. Women who are already performing at an executive level, but are tired of feeling like they have to prove it every time they walk into a room. I help them stop proving and start leading like they belong. In this video, I want to unpack why traditional leadership advice rarely works for women and what to do instead. This is the same shift I make with my private clients when we move them from performing leadership to actually leading as themselves. And if this resonates, I go deeper into this in my free masterclass, How Women Leaders Rise, 3 Executive Shifts to Influence, Impact, and Visibility. The link is below. Most leadership training is built around one dominant template. Be decisive, be direct, speak with certainty, command the room. And those behaviors can work, but they've been positioned as the only right way to lead. So if your strength is connecting the dots others miss, building alignment before declaring direction, or spotting risk before it becomes visible, you start assuming something is wrong with you. You start editing yourself, you morph your natural way of leading into something more acceptable. And that's where the disconnect begins. Here's what often happens next. You get caught up in the performance trap. You don't just do the work, you do the work and you manage perceptions. You adjust your tone, you soften here, you sharpen there. You're constantly on alert, monitoring how you're being perceived. As a result, you leave meetings relieved but depleted. Not because you weren't effective, but because you were calibrating yourself the entire time. And over time, you start to assume that's just the cost of leadership. So that's the performance trap. Then there's the competence trap. You're good at adapting, so you adapt. So you get trusted with more work, more complexity, more responsibility, and maybe even earn a raise or a promotion along the way. So you keep doing more of the same and working harder. But underneath that, there's frustration. You're highly competent, but you're not clearly positioned. You've become good at everything, a chameleon of sorts, but you lose track of your edge. If someone asks you what makes you distinctly valuable as a leader, not reliable, not flexible, not someone who just gets it done, but what makes you distinctly valuable, would you know how to answer that? That's the competence trap. So let me ask you this. When someone asks you what sets you apart as a leader, do you A, have a clear answer about your edge, or B, default to being reliable, collaborative, or someone who just gets it done? Drop A or B in the comments below. I want to see where you are. So let's reframe what this could look like instead. Authentic leadership is about building leadership around your natural strengths and style instead of adopting the predominant model. There isn't one right way to lead, but there's one right way for you to lead. And that's the way you most naturally communicate, influence, and create impact. Leading from your zone of genius means identifying how you naturally create disproportionate value and building from there. You stop over-explaining, you stop diluting your point, you stop managing perception as your go-to strategy. You're crystal clear on what makes you distinctly valuable as a leader. And when you spend more time in that zone, your work becomes more engaging and energizing for you instead of draining you. And that's where leadership starts to become more enjoyable and actually sustainable. So if this resonates, if you're realizing you've been adapting to a model that doesn't actually fit you, I want you to watch my free masterclass, How Women Leaders Rise. It'll help you identify where you've been over-adapting and how to start building a leadership approach that actually fits how you distinctly create value. The link's below. In the next video, I'll talk about why trying harder inside the same leadership model hasn't worked, even if you've taken the courses, read the books, and done everything right. Because if the model itself is flawed, doubling down inside it won't change the outcome. I'll see you there.